Call the member Kelvin Davis.
Thank you, Mr Chair. Now, Mr Chair, as a brand spanking new member to the Law and Order Select Committee, I haven't been privy to the passage of this bill through the House up until this stage. But as a self-confessed couch potato, a sports mad, I do consider myself well qualified, Mr Speaker, and in fact, you know, I know I'm the unluckiest guy never to be considered to be an All Black, but despite that, there's a queue of us, there's a number of us that have, you know, just felt if only the brakes had gone our way, we'd all be there along with Richie and Dan and the rest of them. And I have to say, Mr Chair, that it brought back terrible memories too when the member from New Zealand first started raising those historical issues such as 1995 World Cup and that deceit, Susie the tea lady, how dare she bring down the hopes of a nation. Not to mention the referee in 1905 that denied Bob Deans that try. It was the saddest day of my life, I have to say. But Mr Chair, the member Trevor Mallard raises, the Honourable Trevor Mallard raises a number of points though about the passage of this bill through the whole parliamentary process, and I had to ask him what actually the issues were, and he was saying that the committee did not ask the sporting bodies to come in and explain their side of the story as this went through, and I do take his point that it would have been really good to hear from Sport New Zealand to understand their thinking, the Rugby Union, New Zealand Rugby Union and the Rugby League and New Zealand Cricket. It would be good to actually hear what best practice is in terms of preventing match fixing. And look, I'm not sure what best practice is. That's why it would be good for these organisations to tell us what is it they're actually doing already to prevent match fixing from going on. As we've heard again from the New Zealand First member, who would have thought Lance Armstrong got away with what he did for so many years? We all just thought he was an awesome athlete, a machine on the cycle, but in reality we didn't realise that he was taking banned substances to improve his performance. I'd really like to know some statistical information around where does match fixing normally occur, which countries, which sports, are sportsmen more prone to match fix when they're overseas, or is it back here in New Zealand? So which nations and which sports are most prone to match fixing? Again, someone else raised it about Lou Vincent. You know, we thought New Zealand cricket was squeaky clean, that there was no way any member of the Black Caps or any other New Zealand national teams would even consider match fixing. And of course, we've sadly been proved wrong that in fact our New Zealand athletes can be as guilty as anyone else. And it also raises the tragic circumstances around Hansi Cronje, the South African cricket captain, who he was a national icon, a national hero. Nobody ever thought that he would be involved in match fixing. And I'm actually told that his tragic death a few years later in a plane crash wasn't actually so much an accident. That was actually part of this whole cartels and syndicates actually getting their own back on him for fessing up to match fixing and implicating a whole lot of other people. So coming down to the title, Mr Speaker, and again the Honourable Trevor Mallard has said that in 2006 this was first mooted, the Match Fixing Amendment Act, and it could have been implemented in any year, 2007, 2008, right through until 2014, which is what the title, which is the date that's in the title at this stage. And as he says, we're not interested in making sure this is the Match Fixing Amendment Act of 2015. We're happy for it to be 2014, but we're not happy that the process of this bill was truncated through the Select Committee, and that we didn't have those sporting bodies that I've spoken about, Sport New Zealand and the Rugby Union, Mr Chair, didn't have them
Kelvin Davis.
come in to talk. And of course the TAB, Mr Chair, that's an organisation that we shouldn't forget in our deliberations here. The TAB, and I have to admit I've got a little TAB account. I put $50 in it some time back, and I must admit I haven't become a millionaire because of it, and in fact it's been sitting in abeyance for the last 6 months or so because of a few bad bets. And I have to say that the Thames Valley versus Buller rugby matches, they sort of take on a whole new significance when you put $5 on which way that game's going to go. Otherwise I wouldn't necessarily watch it. But Mr Chair, the TAB would be an organisation that would be really good to hear from in terms of what the way they monitor bets, and whether or not they see trends, what sort of things spark their interest if they see massive amounts of money going on to real underdogs or anything like that. And again I'm speculating, but it would be good to know just what they do as the TAB to make sure that match fixing or betting doesn't, bad bets don't get laid, Mr Speaker. So with that, I'd just like to reiterate, Mr Chair, that it is unfortunate that those organisations didn't get to come in and speak to the Select Committee. I'm interested to listen to further argument and debate on this issue. Kia ora.